Hi everyone, my name's Gemma and I am the author and writer of a blog called The Extermination of Bertie Tickle. I'll put the details of my blog if I can underneath this video, but my blog is all about what we call my Bertie Tickle, or my brain tumour so to speak, which is in my left frontal lobe, and it's something which I started after my diagnosis in August 2013. It was a suggestion from some of my friends and family that I should kind of blog about my life and my experiences. So yeah, so if you're interested to read a bit more about me and kind of what I've been going through, then please view my blog. Today's video is just going to be about my experiences with an awake craniotomy, and really I wanted to make this for my friends and family so that they could obviously hear about what I went through, and also for any potential patients or anybody awaiting either a craniotomy or an awake craniotomy the experience, because I kind of wish I'd had the opportunity to talk to someone before I had the operation, because all I could really find online was kind of actual videos of the op, and I am so squeamish. I can't watch things like Casualty or Holby City. So yeah, I wish I'd had that sort of opportunity, but despite kind of searching for support groups and people, I couldn't really find anyone that had the operation, so I had to kind of brave it alone, and just trust in my surgeon and implement things like my meditation, which I'd been practicing for about 6 weeks before the operation, and yeah, that really sort of helped me. But yeah, I hope you find this video useful, and I'll just get on now with telling you a bit more about the op. So I was admitted to hospital on Tuesday the 22nd of October to have the operation on Wednesday the 23rd of October. I went up to hospital on the Tuesday sort of afternoon, late afternoon, about 5 o'clock, with my mum Shelley and my partner Carl. And when I got there, I straight away had various parts of my hair shaved, like my sideburns, which obviously don't look very cool at the moment, either does any of my hair, and I'm still a little bit swollen around here, so apologies. I'm not obviously looking my best, but I wanted to obviously post my video and tell the story. So yeah, I had these little electrodes which were like discs fitted to my head and on my head. Again, you can look at the pictures of that on my blog. But yeah, once I'd had those fitted, I then had an MRI scan, just that they had the final kind of mapping and location of the brain tumour. And I met with the anaesthetist, so the person who was going to be putting me to sleep. And I met with the registrar, so the gentleman that was going to be assisting my neurosurgeon with the operation. They were both lovely, and they answered lots of questions and kind of supported me and reassured me that I was going to be okay. So that kind of made me feel a little bit better. And I guess at that point I did feel quite calm. I wasn't too anxious. I also saw my neurosurgeon when I had almost like my bed allocated. So when I went to my bed and kind of got into bed, so to speak, I met with my neurosurgeon, and again he reassured me because he's a wonderful guy, and yeah, that was really good to have support from him as well. So then obviously he left and my mum and Carl had to leave, and because my operation was starting early at 8 a.m, I knew I wouldn't be able to see them again, so that was a little bit sad, sort of saying goodbye to everybody, and then kind of the realisation sort of sunk in that I was actually going to be having an awake craniotomy the next day, which for anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's an operation where craniotomy is an operation on the head, and obviously an awake craniotomy is when they're doing the operation on your head but whilst you're awake. So the next day they took me down. It was a little bit later, about 8:45. I had an injection of anaesthetic which put me to sleep for about an hour and a half so that they could make the incision. I have a scar which you can't really see, but it kind of runs from here to here. I've still got lots of hair left, which I'm amazed at. I really thought I'd have kind of patches of hair, but they managed to obviously just sort of do from ear to ear. I was then obviously asleep and they made the incision. And when I was awoken, it kind of felt like I was in a dream. Like I felt really, really tired and sleepy. But yeah, I then sort of had the realization that I was awake. Your head is obviously then kind of like braced in as well, so that you can't, jerk or move your head because obviously they're in your brain and they need you to be still. So that was sort of a little bit difficult. But okay, it wasn't painful. I mean, it wasn't excruciating. For anyone that's awaiting the op, please don't be worried. It was a bit stingy at times, and I could feel things like saline solution going into the brain, but nothing awful. And as I said, I am such a baby. I'm a huge baby, and for me to cope with it, I think anybody can cope with the operation. You'll be amazed at what your body can do and what you can cope with. I also had a speech and language therapist who was fantastic, and as I say, my anaesthetist and his registrar sort of keeping me calm and supporting me through it. So that was really, really good. I had to move my arm and my foot during the operation just so that my neurosurgeon could ensure that I still had movement, because part of the part of the reason for doing the operation awake was to ensure that I didn't get paralysis on the right hand side, because the left hand side of the brain and the positioning of my tumour obviously affects the movement in the right hand side. So I had to move throughout and talk to my speech and language therapist. But yeah, I got through the operation, and at the end, obviously, they sewed me up with a kind of running stitch. Again, a little bit sort of stingy, but it wasn't excruciating. It was okay. So for anyone awaiting the operation, please don't be scared, because I was so worried. But actually, it was okay. And you know what? If I had to do it again, I would definitely do it. I've had my results now, and that was about just over a week later. I've got a mixed grade glioma, and it's grade 2. So at the moment, I don't need any further treatment. I don't need radiotherapy or chemotherapy, but I do need to be monitored for life and have regular MRI scans. I'm working with a speech and language therapist team, or speech and language therapy team, to support me back into work. And I'll also be seeing my neurosurgeon in January, just so that he can obviously check, post op kind of what the scar looks like and how I'm doing. And then we'll go from there. So as I say, I'll just be having regular MRI scans to check for any kind of growbacks or any changes in the tumour. But for the time being, I can just obviously live my life and have fun. And I'm going to keep blogging because that really makes me happy. And I know lots of people kind of get happiness from reading my blog, and I get lots of lovely posts and comments. So if any of you want to contact me, you can do that via email, or you can leave comments on my video and I'll get back to you personally. But if not, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope I've reassured you if you are about to have an awake craniotomy. And I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.